keep striving until my lungs can't breathe. They're all tired, I don't know about fatigue. Got my bros back if we come under siege. Got my dogs with me, I ain't carrying a leash. Thank the Lord for my freedom of speech, cause I say what I like and I do what I please. Brothers think I didn't train for this my whole life, tried to tell them it didn't come with ease. They must have thought that I didn't put in graft. Stayed fully focused and stuck to the task. When it paid off, I was like at last. Them other brothers can kiss my ass. And I promise you that I wouldn't wanna be ya. Them man ain't got this energy, do ya? I cannot feel that vibe going through ya. Flat back quit like my dead computer. Told them once and I tell them again. Giving up's not an option, I'll fight to the end. Physical attributes at 10 out of 10. So trying to catch me, I wouldn't recommend. Told them once and I tell them again. Giving up's not an option, I'll fight to the end. Physical attributes at 10 out of 10. So trying to catch me, I wouldn't recommend. I'm from a different life, different type. Energies, flows, vibes. I'm from a different life, different type.
The crowd has been waiting for this one for a very long time. Welcome to the CompuBox Academy. I'm Todd Grisham, and here with me, my broadcast colleague, Juan Manuel Marquez, fighting out of Mexico City, a world champion in 4 different weight classes. Terrence.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, and now from Mexico City, here is the Hall of Fame 4-division champion of the world.
So much hype surrounding this big matchup. Can't wait to see what goes down when the opening bell. These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. Off the charts action from both of these fighters. Will slow down, it picks up. There's not a seat to be had in this arena, Johnny. It's got that big fight feel, doesn't it?
Just see the nerves on a fighter stepping into the ring, Tom. It can tell you so much about a fighter. And they're looking in the opposite corner. You've got one fighter that is in heaven. This is where they want to be.
Nice job getting that punch through. Back and forth they go. This fighter's completely content to sit back and let you make the first move. That's where they thrive.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think light, concentrate.
Those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? No rest for the weary. That counter punch caught him clean. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Counterpuncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counterpuncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Right uppercut just off target. The straight right just misses. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Marquez in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
Dominance, without a doubt, made looks
confident now.
Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
He's got to find a way to get around that reach advantage.
Sometimes I've been in with fighters that don't know what to do, don't have to break it down, then you get a little dirty.
One moment changes everything, especially in this division. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Beautiful counter punch. Good counter punching. I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. The straight right just misses. This has been a very competitive round between these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Swing and a miss with that hook. Punch, counter punch. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. They exchange punches. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. About Marquez in that last round. They got the momentum, they got the advantage. How do they carry that into the next round?
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute...
The bell rings and we start the third. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Good counter punch. Both want a highlight reel knockout. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
Catch and shoot. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. I'd like to see more jabs. Beautiful counter shot. Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Both men step back for just a moment. He's trying to defend this onslaught. That jab misses. Nice counter shot. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Marquez in that last round. Talk about a one. Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Todd, look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show your boxing skills. Step out the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use flame with a burn.
So much for boxing. This is a fight. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. The straight right just misses. And he scores with the counter. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
You don't see a lot of welterweights that can bring you one-punch KO power, but these two can.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
He threw the hook, didn't land. Both men step back for just a moment. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. The stamina is off the charts. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. About Marquez in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy.
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
They stopped the hook there. Can't score with that right uppercut. Well, with welterweights, they sometimes bring you the best of both worlds. Fast hands and power.
Some fighters are just gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Nice punch. Just missed with that hook. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. And down goes Juan Manuel Marquez. A big headshot, and he goes down. We have got to see that again in slow motion.
That's lights out right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, come to me.
So this fight will continue, but how can they get back into this bout?
What resilience to be down and to be back up again, to get yourself back into fight again, to show your fitness and determination. Maximum respect.
Final 10 seconds here, unless we get some late drama. I think we all know who won this round. About Marquez in that last round. That'll be a 10-8 round for sure with the knockdown.
I love the response, though.
Let's start the 6. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
One punch could change everything in this battle. Holding nothing back here in the round. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. To be a judge in this fight, as both fighters have had their big moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Just missing with the uppercut. He threw a punch and just got countered. A perfect counter lands. You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
I've seen some fights with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Throws the jab, it doesn't score. Nice counter. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Marquez in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
This is when you talk about championship material.
You're betting this kid. Go back out there.
Here we go, it's round 7. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
It's all offense, all the time. That jab doesn't score. It's always fascinating to watch two good welterweights because they've got blurry hand speed and good power.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what you do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Well done with that counter shot. It's nothing but air on that left uppercut. This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. Nice counter shot. A perfect counter shot. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. They have no respect for each other's punching power. Wasn't ready for that counter. Marquez is dazed. I thought we were going to see the finish there.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself,
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. About Marquez in that last round. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
There's a lot on the line here.
Round 8, and we're off again. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me, personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Jab not finding its target. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
So you're getting in there with somebody that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Trying to land that jab. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Can't find a home with that jab. Defense is not an option for these two. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. The judges have spoken, a unanimous decision victory.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened. A unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan. What a result.